Well, good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Monday, October the 7th, 2024, and not a lot happening over the weekend as far as boxing goes. Of course, we've got a big one coming up this weekend, but we'll get to that. I did see that Nick Ball beat Ronnie Rios to defend his title to maybe set up a fight with Naoya Inoue or Steve Fulton down the track, but that was probably about it. But I wanted to start today's video with a little bit of an update on the Shannon O'Connell Motu controversy from Friday night. Now, I know I've sort of covered this in the last couple of days, but I had a chat to Shannon over the weekend, and I can't probably go into too much, but I just wanted to just probably get a different perspective on what happened on Friday night. Now, we all saw that Motu stopped Shannon in the fourth round. No one's disputing that. She fought well and got Shannon out of there. There's no drama, but there is drama with the circumstances. Now, if you weren't across it, and I'm sure you are if you're watching this, on Friday night, as we all know, female fights are 2-minute rounds. This one was, in particular, was 8 2-minute rounds. In the first round of what again was a 2-minute round, it went for 3 minutes. The second round went 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I think they got it right after that. But now, this is not the first time this has happened, by the way. I've seen fights before where they've gone too long, or sometimes not long enough. A male round might end 30 seconds early. Who knows how and why it happens, but it does. The issue with Friday night was that, again, no one's disputing the result, but what happened in that extra minute of the first round is that the girls collided heads. Now, both girls can be a little bit guilty of leading with their heads, not deliberately, it's just the way they fight. And on Friday night, the two styles sort of clashed and we got numerous headbutts. Shannon sort of come off the worst of both girls, but in that last minute, they collided heads. Shannon got a nasty cut on the side of her head. The good news is that the cut itself, even though it was nasty, it was on the side of the head. The blood was pouring down the side, so it didn't really affect her vision, but what it did do was give her a pretty bad concussion. Now, we didn't know this obviously at the time. She did look shook up, but speaking to her, she said she can't remember the rest of the fight after that first round, if any of the fight that is, and in the last couple of days have had all the symptoms of a bad concussion with vomiting, not being able to sleep, being a bit edgy, headaches and all that sort of stuff, of course, but again, all the signs of a bad concussion. So, and look, these things do happen in fights. I'm sure, you know, head clashes or whatever it might be, they happen. But in this instance, the issue is that it might have turned the result of the fight. You might say, well, it's really a nothing fight. It's only an 8 2-minute round fight, whatever. But the backstory of it is that Shannon had a possible world title fight lined up for later in the year, or an eliminator or something like that. Anyway, of course, now she's out of that because she might be out for the rest of the year or forever because of what's happened. But so I suppose the question is, you know, what do we do about this? Who's accountable? Is there any action that can be taken? I don't know. I'm just sort of giving you a bit more of an update of the situation and the frustration, I suppose, from Shannon's end of, well, geez, I've gone in there with the best intentions and accidents happen. She's not blaming Motu, by the way. She said shit happens, but the fact of the matter is the timekeeper stuffed up badly, twice in 2 rounds. And as a result of it, yeah, Shannon might live to fight another day, maybe she won't. But the fact is, her possible livelihood's been affected, her career's definitely been affected. Now, I know there's probably some out there saying, well, the career's probably over anyway, whatever, but okay, that's probably a different side of things. We're just looking at this as a standalone sort of case. The more I've sort of thought about it, the more sort of filthy I am at the combat board, the New South Wales Combat Board. Now, I know things happen, I get it, but they have one job. Now, the promoters pay these combat boards a fair bit of money for the license fees. They pay the officials themselves. All they want is them to do their job. The timekeeper has one job, to say, okay, this is 8 2-minute rounds, well, let's make it 8 2-minute rounds. Not, oh geez, I got distracted talking to somebody, or I was tucking into my dinner or having a coffee or whatever it might be. Oh geez, sorry, I forgot. Or maybe just ineptness where they haven't realised that it's a 2-minute round. I don't know. But again, they have one job, so get it right. The livelihood of fighters are at stake here. Now, I know I might be a little bit over dramatic with everything, but at the end of the day, and this is not just a Shannon O'Connell thing, this is overall. The fighter has received a significant injury with the cut, concussion, and their career might be affected and their later life might be affected. And again, I might be a bit over dramatic, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. They have one job. Keep track of the friggin' time. That's all we're asking. Now, to continue on with this, is that surely after the first round, another official, there's always someone in charge that oversees it all. They oversee the referees and judges, and there's a go-to person. Wouldn't there be, and actually at the ringside too, where the timekeeper is, there would be a judge beside him or her and all around the ring. Wouldn't you think someone would have said, hey, I think you might have went a bit long in that last round. Oh, did I? No. Well, not just one round, we'll do a second round, and no one picked up on it. And again, this is not a Shannon O'Connell thing, this is a principle thing, a general thing. The fighters get in there, they train hard, they sacrifice a lot. I think all they expect is a fair go in there, and the officials who, they all turn up and they get a good night out. I know they don't get paid a lot, and there's not many of them around, so we've got to be careful, but again, you know, you just do what you've been employed to do, and the person that's in charge of it all, do your job and oversee it all. Now, I know, again, it's like, I might be a little bit of an overreaction, so what? But if you've been involved in boxing, or you've been a boxer yourself, you understand, or if you've been a trainer, whatever it is, I'm sure you understand, you know, what I'm getting at. It's just not good enough. It really isn't. Now, in this instance, this wasn't discussed or anything, this is just me bringing it up. Could there be legal repercussions for this, where Shannon could quite possibly say, well, sorry about the wind here, guys, well, by your incompetence, you've cost me my fight later in the year. You also maybe, you know, she's had that concussion symptoms with everything. She could say, well, you know, where am I going to be in 10 years' time? You've contributed to maybe possible CTE. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But in this day and age where lawsuits seem to be everywhere, you just don't know. But anyway, I don't really like going down that track with the lawsuit sort of thing. But all I probably want is some accountability here. I want to see something happen. It's not ideal that Glenn Jennings, Shannon's manager, has had to go to the States for the Tim Tszyu fight, but I know he has lodged an appeal or a protest. Now, I don't think, there's obviously nothing towards Mayor Motu here, but I would hope that, come here, buddy, we'll get him off the lawn there. He's on someone's lawn. Here, buddy, this way. Oh, no, he's gone. We'll get him over here. But he's gone over to the States for Tim Tszyu, and come here, buddy, come on. He's decided to be stubborn. Let's go, man. So he's over there for 2 weeks, and yeah, so as I said, he's lodged the protest and the appeal, but I would think the best result might be is they could get the result overturned to a no contest. I don't know. I don't think that's the real thing in Shannon's mind at the moment, is penalising Mayor Motu with the win or anything like that. It's just getting some justice. So I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, but just wanted to have my say on that. So on to this week, the fight week for Bivol and Beterbiev. Come here, buddy. So I was looking at it this morning, and It's exciting, it really is. It's come around finally. So Archers Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol clash on Sunday morning. Now, I was looking at this as far as, I will be doing a live watch along. So I'll put the link up on YouTube later in the week. But I was going over the card. Now, of course, we've lost the Shakur Stevenson fight, but this card starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not going to be doing it for all the fights, I can tell you that. What I'm going to do is try and time it for the Jai Pataia fight onwards. Now, I wish Jai was a little bit further up the card, if I'm being completely honest, because getting up early is not really my thing. So going through the cards, we've got, well, the card itself, Muhammad Alakal, Jesus Gonzalez. Good luck with that, boys, because I'm not watching your fight. That's only a 4-rounder. We've got Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron, over 10 rounds. Then we go to Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman. I'll just get him here. Come here, buddy. Come here. All right. I better go by the lead here, actually, because I sort of let him wander a little bit while I'm doing these videos, but he tends to get a bit stubborn and take his time. The first part of the walk, I can barely keep up with him, and it's the second half of the walk where I normally do these videos because he slows down a bit, but he just tends to get in people's way. I'll just grab the card again here out of my pocket. Where is it? All right, so then we have Chris Eubank Jr. Oh, I don't think these are actually in particular order. I think we might have, is it Fabio Ward? No, hang on, I'm just trying to get the right order here. Either way, we'll go through them. I know Jai's a little bit further. Maybe Jai straight after Sky. Jai and Jack Massey over 12 rounds. That's obviously for the IBF Cruiserweight title. Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark, which should be a good rematch. Chris Eubank Jr. and Camille Geramato. I haven't really, I'm trying to remember if I've even seen him fight, so I might look him up on YouTube. But look, in the past, some of these events, the 3 o'clock thing or even a 5 o'clock thing hasn't really been a massive issue for me. But is it just me? I'm not overly excited. Apart from Jai and the main event, I'm really struggling to get really motivated for this. Yes, I paid my $30 for the fight and I'll get up, but I'm going to time it so maybe it's between 5:30 and 6, and I'm hoping that is firstly Jai Pataia fight. So I think, yeah, it might be, so it might go Ben Whittaker, then Sky, Whittaker, Cameron, Nicholson, Chapman, Pataia, Massey. Then I think it's Eubank and Zerameta, Wardley, Clark, and then Beterbiev and Bivol. Now, I'm still a little bit staggered as to why Jai Pataia isn't the co-main event. I know maybe Chris Eubank, maybe a slightly bigger name over there. I'm not sure. It's in Saudi Arabia, of course, so yeah, I'm not quite sure why maybe Jai is not the co-main. I think it's the more entertaining fight, and for us fans over here in Australia, it would make a hell of a lot of sense to have him up there. But I mean, even as an Aussie, of course, I want Sky Nicholson to win, but I think I'm going to time it so maybe I'll get up after her fight and watch the last 4 fights. So it's going to be a big day for me, 4 12-rounders. So that's a big day doing the live watch along. But no, really looking forward to it. It's come around. It's taking a long time. Of course, they were supposed to fight earlier in the year. We might do a little bit more of a breakdown of it later in the week, but this is one of those fights. This is why they call them super fights, because fans are normally split down the middle. You can see both fighters winning. You can see, it's almost, what do they call it? The immovable object versus the irresistible, irresistible force versus the immovable object. I think that's how they describe it. This is one of those cases. Just, as I said, a super fight. 2 Russian fighters against each other, and this is, when has this ever happened? 2 Russian fighters in probably the most anticipated fight of the year. It's crazy. Now again, as I said before, it is $30, so it's on DAZN if you want to grab it. I know all over the world it's different prices and there's different deals and different schedules and different apps and all this sort of stuff. But here in Australia, it's on DAZN for $29.99. So check that out. Are you going to get up at 3 o'clock? Or are you going to wait a little bit like me? As I said, I'll probably get up between sort of 5:30 and 6, I think, and hopefully get those last 4 fights in. Although you would think with the fight rounds, Jai might be on a little bit earlier, but they tend to really stretch out in between fights. I really hope they don't do it this time, because we've got, I think there's 70 or 80 rounds of boxing. That's a lot of rounds. So let's hope they've learnt a little bit and they've listened to the fans and said we might just keep things moving along here. Just one thing I want to know, do you like, I'm sure you like the cards, I'm not asking that, do you like the amount of big fights, sorry, not the big fights themselves, do you like the length of the card and the amount of fights they're putting on? Because there are, hang on, I'll get my phone out again, I'll just see the card. There is, the main event's 12, Opatai Massey's 12, Wardley Clark is 12, Eubank Zerameta is 12, so what's that, 48. Sky Nicholson and Ben Whittaker are both 10 rounders. So it's good they've got a 4-rounder to kick us off, but we have 2 10-rounders and 4 12-rounders. I personally think it's just too much. I don't think they need to put as many fights on. I know we appreciate it, and it's, you know, you got to be careful not to ask them to wind back, because all of a sudden we're back to some of the shitty cards we've had in the past. But Neil's decided to go for a walk over there, so I'll go get him. So I'm not sure. What do you guys think? If you like getting up at 3 o'clock and watching fights till lunchtime, that's great. 9 hours, but for me, yeah, look, I really appreciate what they're trying to do, but to have 4 12-rounders and 2 10-rounders on a card is just way too much, in my opinion. I think they would probably get away with maybe, I reckon you could probably get away with 3 12-rounders and then maybe a 10-rounder, and then scale it back to some 6s and 4s and that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's just me. Maybe I'm just a little bit old-fashioned. But actually, speaking of the reality cards, of course we've got Usyk and Fury number 2 in December 21st. I see that Tyson Fury has said that he's possibly looking at a trilogy with Alexander Usyk, which is good to know, because he's also talked that he's going to be fighting Anthony Joshua at some stage. He said that fight must happen, which I think he's correct. And I don't think it really matters when it happens. I think no matter when, it's going to be a massive fight. I think both guys could be, you know, they could both have 4 or 5 losses, and they could, in 5 years down the track, and I think it would still be a very big fight. As I can hear plovers in the bloody plovers. Yep, about to swoop Neil, I think. So I'll get him out of here, I think, and go back. But anyway, so we've got a lot to look forward to with those guys, and I do agree it would be a travesty if Fury and Joshua don't fight. We might do a thing, a bit of a review, I think, of some of the best heavyweight trilogies over the journey, because there's been a few, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I think it's good news at least that we might have Tyson Fury. So I'll get Neil here for a little bit longer yet. So anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this Monday. I've gone a little bit off track here because Neil's decided to add about 20 minutes to an hour-long walk with his little wander. But he's right now. So all right, guys, well, that'll do. Hope you have a great day. Let us know what you think about the Shannon O'Connell Motu fight. Am I overreacting? Am I exaggerating a little bit? I just want what's best for the fighters. They put a lot into this sport, they sacrifice a lot, and I just want them to get looked after. And again, this is not a Shannon O'Connell thing, this is a general fighting thing. Or am I asking too much just to want officials and combat boards to do what they're getting paid to do and look after the fighters and officiate in a competent manner? But anyway, I'm sure you'll let me know your thoughts. Have a good one, and we'll catch you tomorrow.